River run past Eve and Adams, from swerve of shore to bend of bay, brings us by a commodious vicus of recirculation back to Howth Castle and environs. Sir Tristram, the Lord of Moors fra o'er the short sea, had passing corps re-arrived from North Amorica, on this side the scraggy isthmus of Europe Minor, to welter fight his peninsulate war, nor had Topsawyer's rocks by the stream Oconee exaggerated themselves to Lawrence County Gorgios, while they went Dublin their mumber all the time, nor a voice from a fire bellowed Misha, Misha to Tart Toff, thou'rt Patrick. Not yet, though then soon after had a kidscad butt ended a bland old Isaac. Not yet, though all's fair in vanity, were Sothy Cesters wroth with 2-1 Nathan Joe. Wrought a peck of Paw's malt had gem or shen brewed by arc-light, and Rory end to the reganbow was to be seen ringsome on the aqua-face. The fall. Baba Baba Dalgara Hagatak Amina Arung Kwarak Brontong Nerung Kwabang Varahu Tingat Aktul Hur Dimun Wangamanunuk. Of a once Wall Street old par is retailed early in bed and later on life do it down through all Christian minstrelsy. The great fall of off-wall entailed at such short notice the fit shoot of Finnegan, erse solid man, that the Humpty Hill head of himself promptly sends an unquiring one-well to the west in quest of his tumpty-tum-toes, and their upturned pike, toe, and place is at the knockout in the park, where oranges have been laid to rust upon the green since Devlin's first loved Livy. Bygmester Finnegan of the stuttering hand, freeman's mower, lived in the broadest way imaginable in his rushlit too far back for messages before Joshuan judges had given us numbers or Helveticus commuted Deuteronomy. One yeasty day he sternly strooks his teat in a tub for to wash the future of his fates. But ere he swiftly took it out again, by the might of Moses, the very water was evaporated, and all the gunnesses had met their exodus. So that ought to show you what a pension junchy chap he was. And during mighty odd years, this man of hod cement and edifices, HCE, hod cement and edifices, in Toppersthorpe piled Bildung supra Bildung pon the banks of the livers by the so-and-so. He iade idle fifi Annie, ogged the little creature, with her hair in huns took up your part in her, off while babulous, mirror ahead, with goodly trowel in grasp and ivory-old overalls which he had particularly fancied. Like Harum Childeric Egerberth, he would calculate by multiplicables the altitude and multitude until he seesaw by neat light of the liquor where twint was born his round-head stable of other days to rise in undress masonry upstanded joy granite, a wallworth of a skier scrape of most Eiffel, Howth, and Towerley, originating from next to nothing, and celescating the hymnals and all, higher architect tip of Flopical, with a burning bush a bob off its bubble top, and with Lawrence O'Tooler's clittering up and Thomas a Bucket's clattering down. Now, what this paragraph says is he was a great builder. And I think if you think back through your impression of hearing it read, you knew that. You know, these words that are associated, words like a wall worth of a skyer scrape of most Eiffel, Howth, and Towerley. These are skyscraper words. Woolworth, skyscrape, in Towerley, Haworth, so forth and so on. Here's just one paragraph from the wake scene, which builds and has quite a minor amount of humor associated with it. She's, I should say, Maccool or a whaya diddy a day of a trying Thursday morning, sobs they sided at Finnegans Christmas wake, all the hooligans of the nation prostrated in their consternation, and their do dismally proflusive plethora of ululation. There was plums and groons and sheriffs and citherers and raiders and cinnamon too, and they all joined in with the shoutmost joviality, agog and magog, and the round of them agrog, to the continuation of that celebration until hand and hungan's extermination. Some in kinkin chorus, more can keenan, belling him up and filling him down. He's stiff, but he's steady as Priamolum. 'Twas he was a decent, gay, labouring youth, sharpen his pillow scone, tap up his beer. Where in this whirl will you hear such a din again, with their deep brow fundigs and the dusty fidelios? They laid him brawn drawn a lang last bed, with a buckalips of fisky for his feet and a barrel load of Guinness o'er his head, to the total of the fluid hang the twaddle of the fuddle do. Well, it's a drunken Irish wake. That seems clear. But there are a lot of things going on. Where in this whirl will you hear such a din again? And he's stiff, but he's steady as Priamolum. All this Dionysian and sexual imagery is fully explicit. Let me read this description of Anna Livia Plurabelle, and then we'll go back to the synopsis. How beautiful and how true to wife of her, when strangely forbidden to steal our historic presence from the past post-propophoticals, so as to will make us all lordy heirs and lady maidennesses of a pretty nice kettle of fruit. She is living in our midst of debt and laughing through all plores for us. Her birth is uncontrollable, with a naperon for her mask and her sabots kicking arias, so ser, so solly. If yous ask me and I sack you, how, Greeks may rise and Troisers fall, she is mercenary. Through the length of the land lies under liquidation, flute, and there's nar a harbow nor an eyebrush on this glabrous place of herschrift. What our Walter shall loan a vesta and hire some peat and sarch the shores her cockles to heat, and she'll do all a tarf woman can to puff the business on, to puff the blaziness on, puff, and even if Humphrey shall fall frumpty times as awkward again in the beard's busaloom of all our grand remonstrances, there'll be eggs for the breakers come to mourn him, sunny side up with care. So true it is that there's where's a turnover, the tay is wet too, and when you think you catch sight of a hind, make sure you're cocked by a hen. Well, Nora felt that Jimmy would have been much better as a singer. She so stated.